Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you a really good tool for assessment. This makes an excellent tool for technology for learning and assessment for learning because it essentially does your marking for you. So if you want to do a grammar quiz, or you want to do spelling quiz, or some kind of test to check vocabulary, or anything really that could be done as a multiple choice quiz, this is a tool for you. Okay, so all you do is go into your email as normal, and you click there, so this is Office 365, and you choose Forms, and that will open this, which I'll just jump to anyway. Okay, so that opens Microsoft Forms. It's a free piece of software that we have in the college. As you can see, you've got OneNote there, which I've done instruction videos on before, Yammer, which I use myself to communicate with my students, and obviously Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Forms, there's also Google Forms, but today we're going to concentrate on Microsoft Forms because it's a free package that we have with the Office 365 suite, but they work very similar. I might do a different video on that at a later date, but Microsoft Forms gets you to this page. Now the first thing you'll get is a default form. Never pick the form for education because there are no wrong or right answers on the form. You can't mark it. You pick a quiz in Microsoft Forms. You'll get something like this, and then you get to do your questions. So let's call this test untitled quiz. You can put a description of what the quiz is about vocab, I don't know, let's say about transport vocabulary. Okay, I'm not going to go for every one, but you can add pictures as well. You click that and you can just Bing search a picture. So let's say cars, and there you go, there's a nice picture. We're just going to add that because we're not really doing a lot on this one. Now, so when you get to each question, you've got multiple choice, text, rating, or date. There's other options as well. You can do ranking, so they can put things in order. So if it's some kind of system or stage, you can rank what order they go in. There's other options as well, such as this one, which is like a matching of a statement, so you have to match which one's there. So that works more like a form, as you can imagine. You've also got Net Promoter Score, which again you can rate something from 1 to 10, likely, not likely. Again, as I said, this is made for forms and quizzes. What we're going to use in education mostly, there was actually a maths option as well, but it's not on that bit. But what we're going to look at is choice and text. If you do a text one, you can answer the question. So, what is the, what do we travel on around the city? It begins with B. Yeah, and then your answer, their answer there, the correct answer is going to be bus, but they have to type it. So if you want to do a spelling one, you could have the word as an anagram, and you can also give it points. So let's say this one's worth 3 points. 3 letters, 3 points. Or we could say it's an easy one, so it's worth 1 point. Next question can be multiple choice. I'm going to show you this one. So, which of these can fly? Very simple questions at the moment. So, train and plane, and we'll have the correct answer as plane. Again, we could add extra options, so we could have boat. Yeah. And we could go with many extra options as we want. If you want there to be multiple correct answers, so let's say we had helicopter, I could go multiple answers are correct, and then I could choose 2 answers to be correct. The other great thing about this, you can have feedback, so you can say no, so you can have feedback if they get the answer wrong, like train, sorry, the answer was plane or helicopter. And then on the boat one, I can put the same one in. On the correct answer, I could put feedback. I could put well done. Yeah. So you can actually have personalised feedback for each question and each option they choose. Now, the thing about this is you're doing your marking before the students get it. So this is like a worksheet, an electronic one, but I'm doing the marking before I've actually done the thing. So This question could be another transport question, and I could actually have the vehicles up here, so things like car, taxi. Trouble with this one is this one's not a wrong or right answer, because this is a legacy from the forms. So I would actually probably get rid of that one, which you can just trash them like that. So you press that and they delete. See? But then you've got these ones. And you can do as many as you wish. I wouldn't recommend I wouldn't recommend doing more than 10, maybe 12 on any subject. And once you've done it and you're happy with what you've done and you've got your correct answers in, you can also do paragraph answers. It doesn't have to be a short answer. It's automatically saving because this is online. You can then click share. So if you copy that link and you put that link on Moodle, or you put it on your OneNote or your Google Class, students click the link, it might ask them to sign in if they're not already signed into the computer with their S number and their password, but they'll essentially get to do the quiz. They only do the quiz once. It won't let them do it twice or 3 times, which is great. The other option is you can get a link to duplicate, so you can send it to a colleague. If I copy that link, I can email that link to a colleague. If I want to collaborate on it, so me and a couple of tutors want to make a quiz, if I do the collaboration one, we can all edit it. The collaboration one means that all the teachers that get this will edit the one quiz. With the template one, they get a copy of the quiz that they can then send to their students. So there's a lot of flexibility with it. You can do it as a QR code. I've used QR codes before with the class. They can use their mobile phone. When they do that, it gets them to this site. So you can have the QR code on a worksheet and they can finish it on a mobile. So they can actually fill the quiz in on their mobile phone. You can embed the quiz as a link like that, or you can just go straight to email. As you can see, that will open the email up, but that's the email for this system, so I'm going to close that down. So there's lots of ways to share the quiz. I often put them in OneNote, because with my OneNote, if I just put that link in, the original link, it will turn it into the quiz as you can see it here, and they then get to answer it. When you click responses, you can see how they've responded. Obviously no one's responded yet. I'm going to go here and show you, here's one I made earlier. This is really cool. This is called branching. So this is differentiation when you are doing a quiz. So you want to differentiate because you know some students can do so much more. So these adverbs of frequency, yeah? As you can see, it's a quiz I made earlier. If they get the correct answer, they go straight to question 3. If they get the correct answer, they go straight to question 5. As you can see, I've got 10 questions, but I've got other questions in there. So if they get it wrong, they have to go to question 2, which is like revision on question 1, more practice. If they get this one wrong, they go to question 4, which is like revision from question 3. So the odds and the evens kind of work out that way. So you can actually see how they did. And again, these can be points scored. So we can have points on them. We don't have to have points. But there's feedback as well on this one. So as you can see with the branching, it actually has a different answer. So someone that's really good at this will answer 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 if they get them all correct, whereas if they get them wrong, they've got a chance to do the even questions. Now I didn't have to do it like that. I could have made it very different. I could make it so if they keep getting correct answers, they have to do more questions. So I could have 20 questions for if they get it correct, which means that your students that are working at a more challenging level and they need to be challenged further can get increasingly harder questions, and then the learners that are struggling could get easier questions. I've just done this one, branched it out to if they get it wrong there's a revision question underneath, but you could branch it so that if they get question 1 wrong they go to a simpler question. If they get it right they go to an excessively harder question, and if they keep getting them right they get more and more challenging questions. So the pathway splits off. If you think of it like a tree which branches, that's essentially what it's doing. For this one I've just made a 2-way branch, but that's a simple option that you've got just up there. You press the dots, choose branching. What else did I want to show you? I want to show you responses as well. So this is how easy it is. I'm going to find one that's got responses. So past tense, past simple verbs, I've got 18 responses. I did it in points, so each one was worth 10 points, 10 questions as you can see. My students have already done it, so I look at the 18 students that have done it. Ta-da! So I can actually see who answered what. So I can see that 83% got the first question correct, and no 17% didn't. And as you can see, you get a nice pie chart which shows you how they answered. You also get how many there. So it's like that. If I want more details, I click more details. I actually see who got the questions right, who got the questions wrong. So I can actually analyse where the students actually were. There are other ways to actually go into this. If I open this in Excel, because you might be thinking, well, that's nice, but I don't want to look through every student. You get a marking matrix. No need to put it into a paper marking matrix. All you do is download the Excel sheet, save it in a file somewhere, print it off, put it in your folder if you like, or you can keep it as a file. I keep mine as a file on my OneDrive and actually on my OneNote. So there we go. I've got my students, I've got their score, and I've got exactly what questions they got wrong or right. Okay, because you've got the points there. So if they got it wrong, they got 0 points. If they got it right, they got the 10 points. So I can quite easily break it down and see exactly how they got. If I wanted to, I could mess with this and I could narrow out these charts. To be fair, the only one I really need is the names and their overall score. But I could go into exactly what questions they got wrong, and then obviously differentiate in future lessons. So I personally think that this is a brilliant tool, because not only does it give you the chance to have markingless assessment in every lesson, but it lets you do it on their mobile phones. I'd practice at first with a fun one with 5 questions if you're getting into this. I mean, I can come and help you set one up. I'm happy to do that, and so can other people in the IT part of the quality team. But not only does it let you set up questions that are marked themselves, so the work marks itself for you and all you have to do is see the answers, it allows you to do this special branching option, which I showed you before, which is really good, because the branching option lets us actually challenge students that need a more challenging quiz, and support students that actually need more support before they go further. And yet you still see how each student did. And these will stay forever. If I want to run that quiz again with the 18 responses, I can just duplicate that quiz, copy it, so I don't have to delete that. So I can keep the marks forever, essentially. And I can change the title of the quiz to say what group it was I tested them with. So yeah, this is transferring more to an online system of assessment. The only thing this won't help with is free writing and obviously speaking, because for those two you're going to essentially need to use, you're going to be wanting to record that through obviously other means, but for listening, for reading, for grammar tasks, this is really good. There's nothing stopping you putting not just a picture to the question, nothing stopping you from putting a picture, but also you can actually put attachments as well. It's more advanced use, but there's an easy way on Forms, Microsoft Forms, or on something else. Oh, there's the maths option, by the way. I was talking about maths earlier. Click the maths option, you can enter an equation. I've now probably changed that, so I need to take maths off. But you can actually have a subtitle as well. But you can actually add a link to a video. You could have a paragraph already in here or something, and then they read it and they tell you what they understood from that. There's lots and lots of ways to do this. That's all from me.
Hello, you okay?